Welcome to the Mike Tech Show, show 865. On today's show, I am going to introduce you to a bunch of artificial intelligence sites that will get you thinking on how to integrate this into your life, your business, your work. It should be a lot of fun. Going to talk about 2 PDF fixes, missing icons, and something new from Microsoft Power Toys. So let's jump right in, and I am going to remote into a system that I have set up with all of my the links and everything. So hold on. Here we go. So one of the things that I was looking for, how do we stay on top of artificial intelligence? It's moving at lightning speed and really taking off. And there's so many things. So how do we get our hands around it? So I found this site, which is the top AI blogs and websites to follow in 2023. And the first one that I really like this, and I started, starting to read this, it's MIT News. So many technologists dream of studying at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. By the way, when I was majoring in engineering at Drexel and started in chemical engineering, I did want to go to MIT. And it conducts all sorts of groundbreaking research with the progress and results published straight on its blog. So after you take a look at this link, here we got Berkeley. So you got a lot of great institutions, colleges with their research. Here's Analytics Vidhya, Vidhya. Probably I butchered that. Developers. So if you know anybody, or if you're thinking of developing within AI, I noticed there's a lot of blogs that gear towards that, towards data science. Here, developers in business. KD Nuggets, again, developers. Now, I'm not looking to develop, so I'm not following these. Here's a Science Daily, Great Learning, developers. NVIDIA, a blog, an NVIDIA developer, developers in business. Again, more developers. Mark Tech Post. So check out this link, and I think you will really, find out what you want to follow to stay on top of artificial intelligence. So one of the things I found, and I think this fits for everybody here, unless you've been really taking off. I know I'm a novice at AI. So AI for beginners. This is the ultimate beginner's guide to AI. And I'm copying and moving that into the chat, for the live chat for everybody listening. So they have the links ahead of time. But all of these links, of course, will be in the show notes, and they're always at Mike Tech Show. One word, MikeTechShow.com. There you'll find all of the links for all the show notes for everything that you would ever need. So first, they have buzzwords dictionary, because there's going to be a lot of terms thrown at us now with AI. Roles and responsibilities. Understand the roles and responsibilities in every AI team and know who's working on what in any given project. Practical examples, so we could see real world examples. And we're going to get into some of that right now. So how about the create amazing product descriptions, emails, 10 times faster with AI tools? This is easypeasy.ai. Easy-peasy.ai. There's now the extension.ai for lots of artificial intelligence sites. So I wanted to make sure that I've got a taste of this. And as an example to create content, but I want to put a warning out there. If you start blogging, letting like ChatGPT or some AI engine generate the content for you, Google is aware of that. And you can't just rely on AI for posting content, for even doing papers. Okay. And one of the things that Google will rank your site lower, you'll have a worse search engine optimization. You will have a lower SEO score if they find it's only AI content. So you have to be careful. And that's where you need to take that content maybe that you're generating with AI and run it through something else that can make it sound like more like a human, more like you. So I hope I'm not losing everybody here, but you get what I'm saying. Be careful. You're a college student or high school student, and you're generating paper now, papers and reports, and submitting them. A good teacher can take that and run it through other sites that are now out there that can tell them that this was generated by AI. So you're starting to see a little battle out there. So you got to be careful how you're going to position this. And I wanted to make sure that how you can get, the best results, but also not be labeled as plagiarizing or, you used something else to write your content. So I wanted to just make everybody aware of that. And this is a good site to kind of get you, thinking of all kinds of ways of implementing AI. Here's one that I like. Write Excel and Google Sheets formulas 10 times faster with AI. So you can basically write a formula by just typing sum column A when cell B10 equals the word hello. And here you go. You get equals sum if B10, comma. So if you don't know the Excel formula, this site, which is AIExcelBot.com, that's right, AIExcelBot.com, you can now write good formulas. I used to be an expert with spreadsheets. I was the Lotus 123 guru years ago. I could just write incredible macros and formulas. And then Lotus disappeared and Excel came on the market and took over everything and for spreadsheets as Microsoft was gaining the market share. I used to use WordPerfect and Lotus 123. They were my word processor, go-to software, and the go-to spreadsheet. And that's what a lot of the businesses that I was working with back then, that's what the main software was, until Microsoft really started gaining with Office, with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. Now, I'm not into writing the formulas that I used to do. Now, sometimes it's just to help me do something, or really it's to help a client. Maybe a client calls me and says, "Hey, Mike, I'm having trouble. I want to do this in a spreadsheet. Can you help me?" And that's where, I'm not an Excel expert. So where can I go to help write the formula or pass this on to your client? That administrative assistant or those users that are deep into Excel but could use a little help, because I think it makes you just as valuable by recommending these sites, even if you're not using them, but just knowing that they exist and then helping your clients use them so they will become more proficient and more productive. This is GPT Go. So this site's trying to get you instead of Google. So what would we, let's see, what is the Mike Tech Show? I don't know. I'm trying to. So here, model. I cannot find information about Mike Tech Show. Okay, here's what this does. It's Google on steroids. So you kind of get a Google result. Let's go best printers. So you get some links for printers, and then ChatGPT off to the side starts recommending. So now you get a search and a ChatGPT result. So best printers, we have reviews from CNN, from RTINGS.com, PC Mag, Tom's Guide. But over here, as an AI language model, I do not have personal preferences or recommendations. However, there are some highly rated printers by consumers and experts. So you get a little different take on your search. And this is gptgo.ai. So I wanted to make sure that everybody has that in your arsenal for searching. So you get a little more, just a little more searching results. Maybe something that's going to be helpful here. All right. This show is brought to you by MagnusBox. If you want to protect your client's data, and let me tell you, this week I've had 2 restores. And today happens to be April 15th. So my clients who are CPAs, they were working round the clock. And one of my CPAs, someone deleted a directory. Gone. They accidentally deleted it. Somehow they must have cleaned out it wasn't in the recycle bin. So I said, no problem. What date do you think you deleted it? I went right in the MagnusBox. Bang. I was able to restore that folder within 10 minutes. It was all done. That's what you need for your clients. Reliable backup. Another client where we back up the servers every night. Well, guess what? Those backing up every night enabled us, since we do an export of the database, we were able to go back. One of the programmers needed an older version of the database to test something from months ago, and I was able to restore that. So what do you get? 100% white label, great tech support. It's a silent install customer portal. This is it for your backup needs for your clients, covering all operating systems. And if you mention you heard it here on the Mike Tech Show, guess what? You get free white labeling, and your first 3 months, the platform fee is free, and you're going to get $100 off. So check that out. Go to magnusbox.com, and you know what? Sign up for a test drive. Get started right away. Okay. Want to talk about Adobe issues, and I don't know where these options got changed. Did Adobe push another update? And they always do this and reset the settings, because I had 2 clients that always use the email within Adobe. Like, they have the PDF open, and then they click the email option and send an email. So I was like, okay, so what happened? Well, now it just sends the link, and it wasn't sending the attachment. So there is an option to turn off that link, and I'm going to have that in the show notes. There is another one where this is, I'm going to display this again. There is an error opening up Adobe Acrobat. So you're trying to open up and it's saying access denied on the document. Now, previously, they were able to use this and they opened it up with no problem. Well, the link I have here is the fix. And you have to, in enhanced, you have to instead uncheck enable protected mode at startup. So that used to be unchecked, and now it somehow got checked. So you go into it, Adobe Acrobat, go to Edit Preferences, Security Enhanced, and then uncheck the Enable Protected Mode at Startup box, then select Yes, and then select OK. When you're prompted to make that change, select OK, and my client was able to go and continue to open up documents that he previously couldn't. Well, he could, and then all of a sudden it stopped. So there had to be a change, and there had to be updates. And I really hate when Microsoft does this, and they do this all the time in Outlook. Why do they change settings? Like, why does Microsoft change the network settings? They're getting a little better. It hasn't been happening as often, but so many times after an update, after a patch Tuesday, they break the networking on peer-to-peer networks, and you got to go make the changes. I'm like, why keep doing that? Stop it. Microsoft, Adobe. Okay. Client this week had the taskbar icons missing, especially after there's an update to Windows 11. So I have a link here. The one that fixed it for me was number 2 on this list that you're going to see, and that's to delete the icon cache.db file. And that happened to fix it for this client. But there are 6 different options here for easy fixes that if you have this happen, it's so annoying for the icons missing on the Windows 11 toolbar. And this is after a Windows 11 in-place upgrade. This happens more often than we want it to. So there's a lot of complicated ones to do that you could just cut and paste here in the notepad, but definitely check that out. And I have one more link before we get to a couple emails that I'm going to talk about. I found this on Mac Rumors. I love this site for giving me updates so I know what's going on in the Apple world, but this is a little interesting. Back on April 10th, just a few days ago, the FBI warns against using public USB ports due to malware risk. And I wanted to just let everybody know that. You know how you go into an airport, you go into a lot of public places, and they have that USB port? Well, guess what? You're risking malware being transferred to the device. So you should bring your own power adapter and plug into a traditional outlet, not a USB. And unfortunately, I know how convenient it is for hotels, airports, shopping centers, but they are now a place for malware attack. So take a look at this article and it is from Mac Rumors, and I just wanted to bring that up to everybody's attention so you can spread the word with your clients, and especially your clients that you know travel for a living, that, hey, let them know, hey, you got that iPhone and you want to charge it, pull out the charger, not just plug it into a USB port. All right. I want to bring up right now, I am going to go to the email here. Okay, 2 emails. One from Kate, and this is, hi Mike, I noticed that Microsoft Power Toys has an update and went off to get it, which was interesting. You have to visit the Microsoft store and search for Power Toys, even if you already have it installed. Hope that saves you or somebody else some time. After I installed it, I was checking through the settings and found this warning. Enabling the preview handles will override other preview handlers already installed. So the next time you have an issue with PDF previews in Outlook, here's a thing to check. Luckily, since I hate Outlook, which is obviously the work of the devil, I don't use it, but I thought of you at once. So thank you so much. And I am going to bring up the link for this preview, and I will have this in the show notes. And it's the Microsoft Power Toys will not let you preview reg files. So check that out. The new registry preview shows the plain text file in the left panel and a tree view with a data table on the right side. If you've used Registry Editor before, you'll feel right at home. Though the tool in Power Toys has a more modern design with a large toolbar, and you can edit and save the file from Registry Preview. So pretty cool. I like this. This is great, and thank you so much for keeping us up to date on this, Kate. I really, really appreciate it. So that link will be in the show notes for tonight. All right, I should say today as I record this on a Saturday afternoon. All right, final email for the show, and this is from Dexter. Office installs at customers. Currently, I am putting all my customer installs for a specific customer to one account for the customer. Example, Joe's Hardware has 5 copies of Office to install. I put them in account, and he has an example here. This seems to work well, except it gets confusing when you have multiple copies installed on a single day. How are you and others handling this? I'm not sure. You have like individual licenses, or you're just using the personal. Anymore, right now, I deploy Microsoft Office. And Microsoft Office 365 for business, and usually it's the business standard. And each account can have 5 installs for each of the accounts, and it's tied to the email address of that particular user. So that's how I'm doing Office. And let me tell you, it makes it so much easier. And I manage everything through the Microsoft 365 admin, dashboard for that client. Okay. Magnus Box backups, file and folder or image backup. Now you could do both. What are you and others using? By the way, I wanted to throw that out there. If you are a Magnus Box user, hey, write in. Let me know how you're deploying it, or both. And he says, I have a mixed bag. On servers, if using file and folder, you should do a system state and SQL BU. Also, once a day for backups, or on the hour during work hours. Also, over half my customers have cable DSL modem connections. Okay. What I do for servers, I do an image backup. 90% of my clients with servers, I'm doing shadow protect, and I'm doing a full backup every night. Well, maybe it's a incremental, and I'm doing the full backup once a week, and then an incremental during the week. Some customers, I'm doing the full every night. So I have a full image backup of the server. With other clients, I'm using the native Windows full backup. Then I use Magnusbox for file and folders every night. And that's 99 times out of 100, that's what I'm going to need to go to. It's a file, delete it, a folder, delete it, something I need, and I go right to the cloud. If I need to deploy a whole image back, then I'll do it with Shadow Protect. Or you can pick the image backup. You can do both for Magnusbox. You can have the image and file and folder. So you have multiple ways, and it just depends on what works best for your individual client. I'd love some feedback from everybody so we can share with Dexter and everybody else. So now, with cable DSL modems, I have the same issue. I have clients with cable, and the upload is capped, and it works good. The initial backup could take a week. And I've had a client like that where we had 400 gig and they have a, Comcast cable modem, and that 400 gig took like almost 2 weeks where it would back up every night. Now, something I love this feature in Magnusbox. Given a situation like that, you don't want the backup running round the clock because you'll be killing the bandwidth for your client. There is an option that if the backup is still going, then you can have it turn off and stop backing up. And then it'll just continue the following night after so many hours. So let's give an example. I'm doing the backup and I'm starting it at 7 o'clock every night. Well, maybe 7 a.m. people start. So I say, work for 12 hours and then stop. And then it'll continue the next night. So you're not killing the bandwidth. Love that option in the settings. So I've taken advantage of that a lot, especially on that initial backup where you got to seed the backup to the cloud. All right. Dexter's last question. How is everybody doing debloating? I am doing it by hand. Man, Dexter, my son and I are also doing that by hand. And there are scripts that I have talked about, but not used personally. I still, when we get someone that has a system, we manually go through. We have a checklist that kind of goes through, and we quickly uninstall all the bloatware. And, it doesn't take, I guess it does take some time when you think about it with all the other settings that you're doing. There are some really good scripts out there, and you can look back at some older shows. But I tend to just do it manually. How are you doing it? What do you like? So got a couple things I want some feedback on here. One, how are you using AI? How are you deploying that? How are you doing with the bloating? And if you're a Magnusbox partner, hey, what's your typical deployment for clients? I would love to hear back from you. I am MikeTechShow@gmail.com. Very, very simple. That's it. See everybody, hopefully regular time on Thursday nights. at 7:30 p.m. I record live on Twitch. And don't forget to join the Discord channel. Link is in the show notes every week, where it's easy for you to sign up and it's free. Join the forums. I've been crazy busy, and I know I've been away from the forums a little bit. I'm getting back in and trying hard to follow up. So come back in. I know it's been kind of quiet. Join the forums over in Discord for the Mike Tech Show. I appreciate it. That's it. Bye-bye.